Whether it's a good stressor or a bad stressor, the physiological response is largely the same. Your muscles tighten up, your jaw tightens up, breathing speeds up. Now, something really interesting that a lot of people don't realize is that embryologically, when you were an embryo in your mom's tummy, you started off as kind of this ball of cells, and then at one point your body knew those cells knew to flatten themselves into a 2-cell thick disc. And that disc folded itself a couple of times, and you end up with your head and your bum and your trunk. And then you added layer on top of layer on top of layer until you became a little human. The layer of cells that became your upper trapezius, this muscle where a lot of people talk about, well, I carry my stress in my shoulders. It's 100% true. Because what happens is that this muscle, this big, massive muscle, and it's big in everybody, it's one of the biggest muscles that we have, is in the same layer of cells as your heart and your liver. That same layer of cells, when you're an embryo, that became the upper trapezius, a different part of it became the heart, and a different part became the liver. So at a cellular level, there's this layer of tissue that is still shared between these 3 parts of your body. When your upper trapezius is tight, your heart rate tends to pick up. Your liver produces more energy, and they feed back, right? So when your heart rate picks up, your upper traps tend to tighten up. So recognizing these little cues that your body has and understanding which muscles tighten up when you have a stress response gives you these. They're like little flares that your body sends up. That hey, the stress levels are up. And sometimes it's okay, right? If you're working out, you're talking in front of an audience of 100 people, whatever, you're going to feel stress, and that's good, it's healthy. But when that moment comes where you realize, hey, my shoulders are tight, you can take control of it, right? Understanding that your upper trapezius will tighten up, your jaw, the TMJ, the temporomandibular joint, will tighten up. If you think about it, that fight or flight response, if you're in a fight or you need to run away, you need to keep your jaw intact as an animal out in the savannah, right? And so our natural response to stress is to tighten our jaw, to keep our jaw attached to our face. Because if you get batted off or whatever, you can't live. If you're out in the, if you're an animal without a jaw, you don't live for very long. So our natural response is to tighten up our jaw. So when this tightens up, that sends the whole body a signal that we're in a fight. Your respiratory rate picks up, comes up into your chest and shoulders, and you end up breathing up instead of down in the bottom of your diaphragm. So these are cues that your body gives you that your stress hormones are high, that your stress impulse is high, that you can then, they're subconscious responses that you can take conscious control of.